Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here. It is Thursday morning. We're doing the Thursday Think Tank call-in show, and the subject today is probably something that MLSC be very happy. I'm going to talk about today, and that's the new quarter pack ticket packages that got released this week. That they're interesting to me. There's 4 different packages put out by MLSC, 10 game ticket packages, and they're being advertised to different people in different ways. It's kind of interesting. Let me go over the 4 ticket packages, and then we'll do a poll, and we'll see which one of those 4 ticket packages people like the most. Like which one of the packages is like which one would you get? Is basically what it is. So they're interesting. I have some issues with it, but not totally. I think that most of it's pretty good. Most of it's pretty good. So yeah, MLSC, Keith Pelly, I see what you're doing here. You have new ticket packages. And well, one of the things they do already is they sell, I mean, it's really just season tickets, but they sell 41 game packs. You do the math. That's all the home games. It's so funny. They do sell those kind of packages where you can get 41 games for the season, which is all the home games in Toronto. So, yeah, it's interesting. But these are 10 game packs I'm talking about. They're quarter packs, is what they're calling them. And there's 4 different packages. And I want to go over each one real quick. Like the first quarter package is, hang on. Yeah, you get on savings, you get pre-sale access, you get access to playoff tickets. There's a couple of different perks to doing this. You also get a free league pass, and you get a discount at Real Sports, 15% if you do one of these packs. Now, the first pack is called the Superstar Pack. And this is a pretty big deal. This package is interesting because it's pretty much got all the big superstars of the NBA as the opponents. The first game is Milwaukee on the 24th of October. Giannis, of course. Then they got Houston and Freddie and Kevin Durant. They got Cleveland as a team, Boston Celtics, Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, Denver Nuggets, Jokic, Clippers. Remains to see if it's Kawhi. Minnesota Timberwolves, Oklahoma City Thunder and SGA, and New York Knicks. Those are the 10 games you get on that, the Superstar Pack. And those are all the top superstars in the league, pretty much for the most part. You're going to see if you get that pack. You'll get Nikola, you get SGA, you get the Knicks, you'll get the Rockets, you'll get the Celtics, you'll get the Warriors. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting pack. That's a very strong pack. It seems like this pack should be priced high. Like I don't know if these packs are all priced the same amount, but this one should be expensive because these are premium games. Every single one of them, the Superstar Pack. So the second one is called Weekend Jam Pack. Weekend Jam, which by what it means is these are all games that are on the weekend. So it's like if you can only go to Raptors games on a Saturday or a Sunday, this may be the right 10-pack package for you. It's for families and fans who value the early weekend tip-offs. So these are like afternoon games and stuff like that. This might be the one for me, actually, because I'm up north now, and coming down for a night game is tough. And maybe I need to get the weekend pack. Well, the games on this list, that's mixed with some pretty good teams, and then a lot of bad teams on this list too. Memphis Grizzlies, Brooklyn Nets, Boston Celtics, Atlanta Hawks, Philadelphia 76ers, Utah Jazz, Indiana Pacers, Dallas Mavericks with Cooper Flag, Detroit Pistons, and Orlando Magic. Those are the 10 teams that are on this weekend jam pack. But to be honest, for me, this may be the one that I would get just because if they're afternoon games in the afternoon mostly on the weekend, or even weekend evening games, that's way easier for me to get down there from where I live now to get to the arena. So yeah, the weekend jam pack might actually work the best for me personally. The next pack is called We the North Pack, and this is the one that's probably marketed towards the Raptor Freaks, because this is what it says right here. And I feel like this is Keith Pelly's speech himself. Like he wrote this copy here. He's like, this pack is for Raptors diehards. It's not about the opponent, but about throwing all your support behind the home team. To me, this sounds like these are games that are hard to sell tickets for during the season, and we want to get them in a package so we have better attendance. And we know the diehard fans like the Raptor freaks will come to any game. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. Because listen to this lineup, guys. There's 2 Charlotte games on this list. Come on now. You're paying for 2 Charlotte games. That first package, the Superstar package, ain't got no Charlotte games. No, it don't. 2 Charlotte games, a Wizards game, a Trailblazers game, San Antonio Spurs, which is a good game, Phoenix Suns, New Orleans Pelicans, Miami Heat, and Brooklyn Nets. And then also in this pack, you get an NBA Cup game too. You get a to be determined NBA Cup tournament game in this pack. So that's probably the crown jewel of this We the North pack, is that in the pack you get an NBA Cup game. But you do have Wizards, 2 Hornets, Nets, the Trailblazers, the Pelicans. I tell you, they marketed this towards us, towards the Raptor freaks, towards the diehard positive fans that love their team no matter what. They want us to go to Wizards games and Hornets games on the We the North pack. There you go. The last pack is the most dubious one to me in some ways. This is really goofy. Now, this has been a long time a lament of real Raptors fans for a long, long time, that one of the problems with Raptors games is that everybody on the bottom court, the bottom bowl, is not a real fan anymore. They're more like Bay Street schmoozers and city types downtown that are like, workers, and they kind of come to the games just to kind of do business. They're not really fans. They're kind of just there to be for status, or just kind of like schmoozing a client and stuff like that. In some ways, Raptors fans have been annoyed with these fans for a long time because they're not totally like real fans. They're just business people that come to games just for fun. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that in some ways, but they buy up a lot of the tickets downstairs and they drive up the prices, and it makes it hard for ordinary fans to get to the games and afford the games in some ways. Well, MLSC is embracing the Bay Street crowd because they have a package called Bay Street Pack. And this pack is made for young professionals and those in the downtown core looking for some weeknight fun. So all these games are weeknight games, and they're trying to market towards the Bay Street young professionals. So these games are Milwaukee Bucks, Indiana Pacers, Orlando Magic, Atlanta Hawks, Philadelphia 76ers, New York Knicks, Chicago Bulls, Detroit Pistons, Sacramento Kings, and Miami Heat. So, yeah, these 4 packs are interesting. I think, to me, like I said, I take the weekend pack just because that's more practical for me. My heart is with the We the North pack. My heart is with that one. But, yeah, it's interesting that they marketed these 4 packs, and I wanted to, like, go over them, these quarter packs, these 10-game packs that MLSC released this week. As far as you can buy, it's interesting too, because usually the packs of games that they sell to people aren't 10 games. These are pretty big packs. Sometimes the pack will be like 6 games or 7 games for the season, or even 5 games. Here's a 5-game pack for the year, and you come down once a month and go to a Raptors game. But they want to sell more, so they're saying, no, we have 10-game packs. So you're gonna buy 10 tickets, and hopefully they're pretty good price. I don't know. I didn't go all the way through the portal and Ticketmaster to see what the final cost was with their charges and taxes and surcharges and things like that. But yeah, which pack would you guys get if you guys were going to get a pack on the quarter packs for the Raptors? Let's see. I'm going to write it in right now. What quarter pack would you get? If you want to see the things, the choices, once again, you can go on Raptors official admins Instagram stories, or even Ticketmaster. You can go there and you can see the deals and what the games that are on each pack. So the first one we talked about was the Superstar pack. All right, and then there's the weekend pack. Then there's the We the North pack for the real fans, but you're going to see some Charlotte Hornets games. And then there's the Bay Street pack. So which one you think you're most likely to buy? And which one is, I know which one has the best games. Obviously, we know which one has the best games. So go ahead in the poll. Mark your answer. For which one of the quarterbacks would you want to get with MLSE and the Raptors this season? Let's see. So 100% the superstar pack first. Yeah, get that game with SGA, Steph, Giannis, Jokic. Yeah, get them all. There's no Lakers games on any of these packs, though. Did you notice that? The Laker game is not involved in any of these packs. No, it is not. No Luka and LeBron, though. That's right. Okay, I did this again. I'm sorry, Trevor. He's had a comment about how everything's being fake right now. And there's people that there's not anything that you can trust. I did it again. I'm sorry, Trevor. I make the poll and it covers up his first comment. I'm pretty sure his words of wisdom. If you write it in again, Trevor, I'll read it when I get down in the chat. I apologize for this. I always forget that the poll will cover up the first comment in the chat. His words of wisdom is, I think it was something like, there's so much fake around right now. It's really hard to figure out what is real. It's something like that is what he said. Trevor's saying that the WNBA playoffs continued last night and Minnesota Lynx eliminated the Golden State Valkyries last night. 2-0 sweep over the rookie playoff team. I predicted this. And in fact, it was a dramatic ending where the Lynx won by 1 point at the end of the game. They actually came back. Golden State was winning a lot of the game, and Minnesota was gutsy, showed a wherewithal, showed a professionalism, showed a very top team kind of element to come back and win by 1 point in a very close game and eliminate Golden State in the WNBA playoffs in the first round. So the only team that swept in the first round is Minnesota, the best record in the league. That's right. The other game, Phoenix Mercury routed the Liberty in New York last night, and that was kind of shocking. Stewart was hurt, but she did play, but it was ineffective. And nobody on the Liberty played very well yesterday. There was maybe one person that got double digits. And meanwhile, the Mercury were playing all out. And even that series on the road against the Liberty. So big time stuff there. Big time stuff. Phoenix Mercury beating Liberty and Lynx beating Valkyries. And Trevor Jace brought up, remember, guys, I'm not trying to do any politics these days. NBC, it's ABC, by the way. It's not NBC. Jimmy Kimmel works for ESPN Disney. Suspended Jimmy Kimmel for speaking out about what happened to Charlie. Yeah, he didn't even say anything that wrong. All basically Jimmy Kimmel said is that a right-wing person killed Charlie Kirk and that the right wing is to blame for this MAGA on MAGA violence. And, they want to hijack the narrative and say this is all left-leaning issues. No, it's not. You guys are idiots and you're lying. And you're using this to incite violence. It's immoral, evil, and fucked up that y'all are trying to call for violence against people that didn't do nothing to you. You're making up some bullshit, and you're using Charlie Kirk's sad, tragic death as something new. That's not right. That's not right at all. And, for being somebody who was such a free speech champion, Charlie Kirk, he'd be happy about this with Jimmy Kimmel? Probably, because he's got no morals as far as like whether right is right or right is wrong. And as far as justice for all, no, it's not justice for all. It's justice for white men and nobody else, white conservative men. And if you if you're not in that category and you're speaking out like Jimmy Kimmel, well, it's reprehensible. I mean, a lot of people are waking up to this. This is fascism. This is North Korea. This is Russia. This is state-sponsored media that is controlled. And if the message isn't what dumb Donald wants in the White House, then there's going to be problems. And, Jimmy Kimmel's the latest casualty. Now, this is a good chance for Jimmy Kimmel to be somebody who can speak out on this and be a champion for free speech. In some ways, he has to be brave. He has a choice. He can either slink off into the privacy of his own life and safety, or he can take it to the streets and start and use his leadership in this situation. Because this is the thing. Colbert, in some ways, got more popular after he got fired. He's still on the air. He won an Emmy like crazy. He won a bunch of Emmys, and he's like, his numbers have gone up. Jimmy's shut down. Like, he's not even going to be able to be on the air. He's already had like 20 million viewers a night. It's like he gets good numbers. This is a poor decision by ABC, ESPN once again. And they're going to feel it because a lot of people are canceling their accounts in these ways. In fact, we should cancel our ESPN accounts right now. Disney, ESPN, our fantasy, WNBA, whatever. fuck this shit. It's like we can protest, we can boycott in our own ways. So boycott Disney Plus, boycott ABC, boycott ESPN, boycott Fox, boycott Lucasfilm, boycott Marvel. These are all owned by the same company at this point. Star Wars and Marvel stuff is all owned by ABC, ESPN, which owns Jimmy Kimmel's show too. So, it is what it is. We're living in a world of fascism in the United States down there, and we need to fight it. We need to fight it because, the future won't be no good for the kids if the fascist wins. Okay? If the fascist wins, we don't need that. We don't need this in this world. That's right. I want to limit the politics, guys. I don't want to speak out too much on stuff like this. I'd like to talk about basketball. If you bring up politics, I may talk for a little bit about it, but I really don't want it. I don't want it right now. I really don't want it. I'd rather just focus on the Raptors and the upcoming season. And if you guys do bring in political stuff, it's up to me whether I want to talk about it or not. I talked about Jimmy Kimmel to an extent, just a little bit, but I'd rather not see the comments right now, anything other than what we're doing on this channel. James is saying Kawhi's team reportedly demanded Lakers give him ownership, private plane, house, and endorsements for ESPN. Thoughts? Lakers? You mean Clippers, right? You mean Clippers, right? Oh, you mean when he was talking to Lakers before in the summer of Quine and Dine? When he wanted to just jack up the price by using the Raptors as leverage and saying, oh, no, I might re-sign back in the Raptors and try and repeat. You need to drive up your price. That's all they were doing, Uncle Dennis and Kawhi, using the Raptors as a leverage piece to drive up their price with the Clippers. Maybe the Lakers were involved too. Maybe there's a little leverage in there. I mean, we've heard all kinds of bullshit that they demanded. Ownership of the Leafs, all kinds of bullshit, man, James. That's right. I mean, I don't know. What are my thoughts? It's just Uncle Dennis being Uncle Dennis. This is what it is. James saying, would you want Kawhi back if the Clippers wanted to move on from him? I've been very clear about this for a couple of weeks. And in fact, Toronto Maple Leafs fan got banned from this channel because he kept asking me this question. So, James, I've been very clear about this. I don't think you need to ask me this. I don't think you need to ask me this. I'll let Trevor answer me right here. He said, we do not need Kawhi. He's washed like stonewashed jeans. That's my answer. I've been very clear about this, James. I've answered this question at least 5 times in the last month. No, and no. I read somewhere Clippers might be done building around him. Yeah, it's the front page article on ESPN right now. On the very front page, the thing is that they're stopping to capitulating to Kawhi Leonard, and they are not building around him with him in mind. Well, it's in some ways too late. You've gone so far down the river without like any draft picks and going with him that in some ways you're coming back up the river this way. You have to